the free mind at night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 575. I'm your host, GBD, here in Long Island, New York. As always, we're joined by a man who's missing a small USB drive. It's gray, and it has company secrets and porn on it. Wombat!
I have never been to a medieval times.
I didn't say mention of medieval times at all.
I have been to the Dark Ages Cafe. Is that a thing?
Is that like a poor man's medieval times?
That's the poor man's medieval times. It's the Dark Ages Cafe. They don't joust, but they have like two
What's
midgets.
the point?
They have two little people on dogs.
What?
No,
Yeah.
Wombat, no.
No, is that offensive?
It's not. Why did you go to this place? What's
What?
going on?
Well, okay. I should
Was it this
preface
week?
it was in Tijuana. And the food was suspect. But it was a good time. Good time had by all. And I ate the worm. At least I think it was a worm.
I'd like to see a movie, Wombat in Tijuana.
I've been to Tijuana.
I believe you. I know you just said it.
I know.
I'm just saying I'd like to see a movie like that.
I bought a big cowboy poncho when I was in Tijuana. And I wore it when I was down there like thought I was Clint Eastwood.
Were you drunk all the time?
I had a lot to drink.
Wow.
A lot to drink.
Wow.
I was also, I think, 19.
It's legal.
Yes. Yes, there it was legal there.
Right. Wow. That's wild times.
Yep. My brother took me.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Mhm.
No wonder why I didn't have any wild.
Still not medieval times, though.
Still, no, it was not medieval times, nor was it the Dark Ages Cafe, and there were no little people. Sadly enough.
Did there used to be a medieval times near the convention center?
There was a place there was like a
in LA?
knockoff. Yeah, there was a knockoff medieval times one year.
Like right across from E3. We never went, though.
No.
Do you think Randy Pitchford was just there like the entire time?
You're saying he loves medieval times? He loves medieval themed restaurants?
I feel like if you go to medieval times, you probably just didn't go to medieval times once.
Well, I could see a person saying like, "Oh, I always wanted to check out medieval times," and
You think this was Randy Pitchford's first time at medieval times? You're honestly telling me that?
hey, first of all, who knows if any of those stories are true or not? You know, it's well, you're automatically assuming it's true.
Well, he admitted to a lot, everything but like the. I don't know the whole like lawsuit thing, but I don't know about the underage porn, obviously. But he did admit to losing a USB drive at medieval times that had porn on it.
Yes.
I'm gonna believe him if he said he did that.
First, I didn't know that we're going to talk about this.
Magic porn. It was magic porn, is what it was. How could we not talk about this?
Yeah. See, I didn't even need to put it on.
It's so crazy that like you hear it all and you're like, yeah, this sounds totally plausible. For
But the thing is,
Pitchford.
it's the crazy part isn't even the story. That's what's so kind of crazy about it too. Like the fact that he left the USB drive that had porn on it isn't even what the case is about. It's about the $15 million that he may or may not have received illegally.
Who cares about that?
Exactly. And it's like, who cares about the money thing? I want to know.
You want to hear
more.
about the crazy stuff.
Yeah. How crazy is this guy?
Like the sex parties with exposing themselves to minors?
Well, he says there were never any minors.
But there were sex parties?
They were all magically over 18.
Yeah.
He is a magician, Shipwreck.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
So
I know, that's why I said that.
Pick a card, any card. They were all driver's licenses with dates that's over 25.
Right.
The part that's most unbelievable to me is that you would put the company secrets, the company secrets and the porn and the super hardcore porn.
You get two USB drives.
Oh, there were two USB drives?
Yeah. No, I'm saying that's what you should do.
Yeah. You don't.
Is if you make sure you have 2 USB drives and make
That's
sure
so
you
much effort,
label them
though.
clearly. One that says work on it in big letters, and another one that says porn on it in big letters, and then everybody wins.
But then you never know which one you lost.
Well, if you have you keep the work one at work, and the porn one, obviously, you're going to want to keep on you all the time because you never know, and you're going to be like, oh, I need to see more squirts. And then you can plug it in.
I don't know about you, but if I was carrying around a USB drive with company secrets and porn on it, it would be like basically burning a hole in my pocket. I would just be constantly checking to see if it was there.
I want to know, I mean, who saves porn? Is that a thing?
He really liked it and he needed it to be portable, or he was worried that it was going away. He needed
Is that what it is? I mean, or is it like he wanted to make sure he could watch porn when he had no internet connection? Like, was that like a real issue for him?
I just don't know.
Like,
how do you put?
Oh, they're saying that there may be a storm tonight. What if the power goes down? I need to make sure I got my teen squirts. I better save this to my USB drive.
He was saying it was because it was for magic research.
Right. He was saying that he was claiming that the woman in the video was
performing magic.
Was performing a magic squirt, which means it wasn't a natural one. It was artificial.
Supernatural.
And he was going to point out, as a magician and an entertainer, he was going to entertain the people that he knows by pointing out how this was indeed a fake squirting situation.
Isn't that like the anti-magic code to point that out, though?
That's a good.
See,
well,
if you look right here, this is where she has the juice box underneath her thigh.
That's a shipwreck. That's a really good point, though, because even if you're going to say that maybe she's not a magician, but as entertainers, as 2 entertainers, why would you like try to blow up another entertainer's spot like that? It's a weird situation. And what kind of mind frame do you need to be in as a CEO or owner of a company? Like, so many people are working for you and depending on you. How could you, where's your head at when you're taking the company secrets and the porn, putting them on the USB drive, and then just, hey, let's take this very highly sensitive information and go to medieval times, and then not give a fuck what happens to it? Like, I check every 10 seconds. I basically check to see if I have my car keys in my pocket. I don't know.
Yeah, just on this, was it Tuesday? This Tuesday? Monday, Tuesday? Not that it matters. I took my keys out of my pocket and I hung them on. We have a hook on the wall for keys. And I hung it up. Later that evening, we had to go to see Sabrina's chorus concert. I didn't take my keys. My wife took hers. What I didn't realize is when I took my keys out of my pocket, my car key, which is one of those fob keys, fell off the keychain and was still in the inside pocket of my jacket.
Oh.
Yeah. So when I took my jacket, we got to the chorus concert. After we leave the chorus concert, I put my jacket on, not realizing there was a key in the pocket, and the key fell out of my pocket. And I obviously didn't even realize it until the next morning when I went to go drive my car and I had no key. And I immediately, I knew it could only be in one place, and I called the school, and they had it, which was nice. But I was freaking out. But yeah,
so you have a lot in common with Randy Pitchford. You both
right. That's what I was.
Yeah, I'm like, but the thing is, I didn't know I had the key on me.
Maybe he didn't know either.
He didn't know he had the company secrets and the porn on him.
Maybe he thought he brought a different USB drive to medieval times.
But I also, as soon as I realized it was gone, I immediately made a phone call and made arrangements to get it.
Right.
So isn't that at least that's the bare minimum? You lose your porn at medieval times, you make sure you call them and get your porn back.
Well, do we know that he didn't do that?
I don't know.
No, because he had to go somewhere. He was traveling right after that. And then, so somebody else had to, he basically delegated that to somebody else. Hey, by the way, go to medieval times and pick up the USB drive with the company secrets and the porn on it. And then, so apparently somebody else got it, and they didn't know necessarily what was on it. I think he just said, get the USB drive. And then they looked at the USB drive, and then they saw the stuff. It's good.
Mm. When's Borderlands 3 coming out?
Yeah, right?
Right. Like
E3. Announcement at E3. Borderlands 3 for the Xbox 2.
That's like the most questionable decision. That's how you know his thinking is not always logical, is that game does not exist.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. I still never played the Handsome Jack collection, so I guess there's that. But
Is that
is that any good?
it's just all the older games, right?
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so sure.
Yeah.
Well,
It's fine.
Do you like Borderlands 2?
I like it enough.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game.
Yep.
I wonder how much female ejaculation is going to be in Borderlands 3.
I don't know, but it explains the little girl that always shows up.
There's a lot that could be explained by a lot of things.
But nobody can explain why the company secrets and the porn were on the same USB drive.
I don't know.
That's
and you were worried we wouldn't have enough to talk about today.
I just can't. Yeah. I'm like, I am always checking to make sure I have all my shit constantly. Like if I have to, like if I'm getting a car wash or something, I'll just take the keys off the car thing, the fob, just so I'll have something in my pocket. So I know that I didn't lose something for the 2 minutes or something that I don't have the other thing in my pocket.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm like that too. I'll be in my car and it'll be moving and I'll go, do I have my keys? And then I'll think to myself, I hope I have my phone in my pocket, and I'll be listening to something that's playing from my phone. Because I'm a crazy person, clearly, but I understand what you mean.
I'd have to go to Chicago. That's the closest medieval times.
Yeah, I think there's one in New Jersey.
There's one in
I know
Lyndhurst.
just went one.
Lyndhurst, New Jersey.
Yeah. Which it's like not far away, but it's also not convenient in any way, shape, or form. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm good.
You sure? When Shipwreck comes out next summer, you
Nah.
don't want to go to medieval times?
I'm not driving more than, I would drive an hour.
I think that's how long it would take without traffic to get to medieval.
So 2 hours.
Probably.
I feel like this is like their biggest ad campaign in quite some time.
Do you think he's part
Their
owner?
their biggest zeitgeist push since the Cable Guy.
Yes, because that's the last time I can remember medieval times.
Man. All right. Should we do some show feedback? I mean, have we been up to anything interesting? I don't know.
Nope. I got hit by a taxi, but that's about it.
Now, describe like the physicality of it.
It wasn't obviously it wasn't terrible. I'm still here. I'm here and I'm fine.
Right.
So I was walking across 7th Avenue in Manhattan on 34th Street, right by the Macy's, during rush hour, and a taxi literally stopped at the red light in the crosswalk, which happens. And people they just swarm around it because that's what people do. They either walk in front of it or walk behind it. I was one of the people that walked behind it.
Oh.
But this cab driver in his geniusness decided, I better not keep my taxi in the crosswalk. I'm going to go backwards. And he put his taxi in reverse and started to slowly go backwards to get out of the crosswalk. And he drove into me.
And like, what happened?
He just bumped into my arm, and me, like someone who's put up with this bullshit for too long. I literally kept walking, and some other guy yelled at the cab driver for me. I could hear him in the background. Yes. What the hell is wrong with you? You hit that guy. And I'm like, yeah, you take care of my yelling for me. I got to get to work.
New Yorkers will always do that for you. They'll always yell at somebody on your behalf.
Yeah. I mean, my shoulder was sore for like a couple of hours, and then I was fine.
Oh, okay.
Whew. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. The bike messenger hit was a lot worse.
Right. Yeah.
Because I was dragged on the ground and I had a concussion.
Oh, fuck.
And I couldn't really get out of bed for a couple of days. Shit. And I had to go to doctors and it was expensive and that was a whole other thing. This was just, I got bumped by a taxi and my arm hurt. So having experienced 2 different types of accidents in Manhattan, I'll take the arm bump any day of the week.
Yeah, because it's going so slow.
Yeah, exactly.
His bikes are fast.
Yeah.
Boom.
Mm-hmm. And he was dragging a cart, and he was going the wrong way down a one-way street. But whatever. We don't have to talk about that anymore.
Yes, we do. Please. No, it's just
ruined my favorite sweatshirt.
Oh man,
that was the worst part of it
was
all.
Was it something you got at E3?
Yeah.
Call of Duty, whatever.
No, it wasn't. It was the Bethesda one.
Yeah.
Oh, it really was something you got at E3.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. I remember this.
It was my Bethesda the Bethesda zip.
Oh yeah,
zip
yeah.
Sweatshirt.
I remember getting that one.
It was no joke. Was my favorite sweatshirt.
Did we bring that back for you, or you were there?
I was there,
nice.
And I remember at the time I even tried to see if I could get in touch with someone. I was willing to buy another one. I'm like, is there any way to buy this? It's my favorite sweatshirt, and I never even got a response.
If you couldn't, was there Twitter?
That was when Bethesda started going downhill.
Yeah, no, there was Twitter. It was so long.
Oh, but we could have had this whole viral thing going. Like, look, this guy got run over by a bicycle, and it ruined his E3 swag.
Cared. Yeah.
No, if that had happened now, then you would have been just covered with Bethesda stuff.
Oh man,
yeah.
You would have been like,
you just got hit too soon.
Yep, it was too soon.
You would have been declared.
So if anyone at Bethesda is listening, that was my favorite sweatshirt. I actually still have it. I kept it, even though I can't wear it anymore. Because to be perfectly honest, the blood won't come out.
Wow.
And it's kind of gross, and it's all ripped up. So it's all ripped up and covered in blood, but I still have.
You still have? Why would you still have it?
Now you sound like my.
Where's Marie Kondo?
Yeah, exactly. If she came into my house, she'd faint. She would just drop dead. I'm like, oh, sorry.
My friend was on her, like when she was on, like several years ago, or a couple of years ago, she was on like, Good Morning America or something, and they did a thing, and they sent her to his apartment, his family's apartment in Brooklyn, and it was just full of shit, right? Full of stuff, and it was it was just pretty hilarious watching him.
Yep.
He got hit by a taxi too, Wombat.
See?
I was actually on the phone with him while he got hit, and he was drunk, and I think he was smoked a little weed, and I'm talking to him, and all of a sudden I hear like whoa, and I was like, wait, and then he gets back on the phone. He's like, oh my god, he's like, this cab just went into me, and I was just lying on the hood of the cab, like on my back, and still talking to you. It's pretty good. He went for a little ride, free ride.
Better than getting hit by a bike.
Yeah.